brought the cover back because it's freezing. It's 3 degrees, I think. So, you know, you can't fibreglass in that. You can't do much in that sort of this sort of heat. So I think what we'll be doing, it is December now, we'll be putting the cover on and we'll just be leaving Lulu for a month or two. Maybe the odd visit, I don't know yet. I think weather will dictate. I'm actually freezing cold in true Dave style. I'm in my shorts and crocs till the bitter end. But yeah, she's looking good. This cover's held up really well. We've had a little bit of rain this week, but not much. So I think today's going to be a quick one. We're going to try all the bits and bobs we've been playing with during the week, and then we'll pack her up ready for the winter and probably leave her here over Christmas. The only problem with using the green cover when you're on land is leaves. So the leaves get everywhere. I guess that won't be a problem in a few weeks' time when all the leaves have fallen. But you know, the trees, beautiful as they are, can be a right pain in the autumn. These leaves, because they're not good. They'll keep moisture wherever they land. They block the bilge up. So normally when you're using this sort of little tent boat cover, you'd be on the water, so you'd be far away from most leaves and trees, and you don't really get a problem. But here, obviously, got to sort out removing them all before you can work on the boat. They also block the bilges if you're not careful, the scuppers if you're not careful. Right, first thing, we're going to check our fibreglassing. It's kept nice and dry, actually, at least, that's good. And then these holes look nice and filled. The side here looks good. It does need a few more layers on it, this side, but you know, they've significantly improved that cracks we've had both sides, so they're good. This is rock solid now, so that's just ready for filling, and then we're going to over fiberglass the whole interior probably there, but we'll do it with the sort of cross hatched stuff, not the, you know, the sort of the stuff that's actually on the boat here. What else? Let's have a look at these. So they're beautifully filled, they are nice and solid. And then this, yeah, that I knew that wasn't going to work, but that has gone up there quite nicely. And then this will just have to wait till we get some warmer weather. So here's my stowage covers, and you can see they are absolutely perfect. So let's just try it on the front one as well. Yep. And these are going to go along attached to this, and then, you know, maybe you just do that to get in. And you can actually probably remove them if you're sailing on a lake and you don't really need them on. But they're going to look pretty cool, I reckon, and keep things nice and secure. You know, also, you know, possible capsizing. You don't want to lose everything out of here. Just make these a lot more usable. We're probably going to have some protruding bolts, aren't we, in the inside there? And I thought to myself, especially on this blocker here, you know, do we want these little bolts protruding? Because they're going to chew up my little wood sticks, you know, my jib stick and things like that. And I am wondering also, when you're shoving things in and out, oh, I've just lost that in the bilge. But when you're putting things in and out, it could hit the nuts and could undo. The other issue is the fiberglass is actually quite thin here. So, you know, it might not be good to have a snap on there. And then the last issue I've got with this is that, you know, obviously I'm drilling holes in the hull here and, you know, wherever, and putting things on it, so it's not ideal that way. This week is like a week of second thoughts. I do apologise for changing my mind all the while, although I guess it is good to see the thought process, which is what this channel is all about. So I realised I've got this. This is like stick-on Velcro, and it's really, really strong, and it's actually surprised me. So I thought that we could stick the fluffy side onto the hull here, and then the sort of jagged side, it's not particularly jagged, it's very plasticky, that could stick. I could actually sew this side onto the covers, and we could try that. This, I know for a fact that this Velcro, if you use enough of it, is going to be more than strong enough. It's not going to allow anything to sort of fall out, and the stowage covers won't come undone. I think the Prestas would be weaker. But the other thing about this is it will stick to this quite strongly. And the other reason I like this is because if it doesn't work, you just pull it off. You might need a little bit of cleaner to clean the residue off, but you're back to square one, and then perhaps we can think about, you know, the Prestas again. So I thought it'd be a bit of a no-brainer. I think we should try this on one of these stowage covers, and we should see how we go with that. And I've actually brought the sewing machine with me, and my other battery should be, you know, I think a sewing machine only uses about 50-60 watts, so I've got the other battery, and I think we could quickly sew a few patches onto the covers, and we'll give those a test here. I'm not sure whether we need the full thickness of this. It's like 5 centimeters, 50 mil. So I think we could even halve it and see how we get on. And then, you know, would it be an eyesore having that along the bottom? I'm not so sure. I don't think so. Not when you've got the stowage covers on. So, yeah, I think we should give this a go. We'll go to the camper van now, and we'll get these sewn onto the stowage covers. Right. I've also brought my Danforth anchor. You see, it's my brand new anchor, and I've realised that what most people do on luggers is they stow this like using chocks on the foredeck, like say like so. Now the problem I might have, the only problem we've got here is if we want to use a bowsprit. Now you'll see that if you look out through there, let's move the further out of the way, you'll see that the bowsprit, which needs to sort of go like that, is going to be in the way of this. Now, one option is to actually just have it down here. So, what we want to be very careful of is keeping out the way of this cleat, because, you know, if we're mooring up or, you know, needing that cleat when we're, you know, not using the anchor, then, you know, we've got no cleat on the front of the boat. I've actually just had another idea, which is, yeah, let's have another go. If we had, I'm thinking about having chocks on the top here, but if we had chocks lower down, so we could actually attach them in like a C over here. So actually taking a leaf out of my little tent clips idea, so we could clip them there and then have the chock kind of here coming out, and then you could actually lower that chock. Just, I'm trying not to damage the thing here, to sort of here, say. That would leave just enough room for that. Well, actually, hang on, I've got to put the camera down. Let's try this again. So I could actually have those chocks, imagine the chocks come over, attach here, come over, they click into the chocks here, and then actually you could even have the chocks angled like this to keep out the way of that cleat. And then when you want to use these, you just pull them forward and up. This would have to find a home somewhere. This here, I don't know if you can you see that? We need to just protect that somehow. And then these, we can actually lash this. I could put a little hole and just lash around with an elastic thing to stop that moving. And then you've got it like that. So I think we've found our answer. So we'll go back to the 3D printer and we'll print off some chocks that we know will fit. and we'll give those a go. We're going to have to find out this angle here, aren't we, to make sure we get them straight. But other than that, I think we've found ourselves a little solution there that will work, and I think we could 3D print that and make a really strong design. I'm not going to lie, it's 3 degrees today, and holding anything metal is making my hands absolutely numb as anything. I can't feel a thing in my fingers now. So I'm going to put that back in the van. In fact, I think I'm going to go back to the van now and do some sewing. I've just learnt today that Crocs and 3-degree temperatures do not mix. My feet are like blocks of ice, and my hands are like blocks of ice, handling that anchor for so long. So we're going to stay in here for a little while. I've got the sewing machine. We're going to get that sewing machine set up, and we're going to sew a few things on these covers, a few bits of Velcro, and see if we can get these working. Right, moment of truth. I've got my little battery here. It goes up to 400 watts, I think this does, on the inverter. We'll just switch the AC on, and let's see if this works. So far so good. We'll give it a little test. Job's a good one. I think it'll run this for hours, because it's only about, I think it's about 50 or 60 watt this, which is quite powerful for a sewing machine. But that's good news. We can, in fact, we might put the lights on. We can now do a little bit of sewing. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut a couple of little test strips off this, because first of all for strength, and secondly just to test its stickability. So I think we'll put the fluffy side on the boat, because then no one's going to scuff themselves on this raucous side. So the first thing I'm going to do, so the raucous side or the hooky side will go on the boat cover. So the first thing we're going to do, just see. I'm going to do it in the middle maybe. Just see if that sticks onto here without any stitching. It does cure. It does need a little bit of a time to cure, but it is quite strong, this Velcro. I've used it quite a lot, and it is really good. The only thing is that sometimes it's a bit strong and it actually pulls itself off because the actual Velcro is so strong. This is PU coated, so there is a bit of sort of plastic for the Velcro to stick to. It's not like it's fabric, but I'm not so sure if that's gonna adhere very well to this. But what I'm hoping is it will adhere to the hull. We might not find out today, because like I said, it does need time to sort of cure on the boat. But if we get a good enough result, then perhaps we can at least sew things on and then see how that goes. So let's go and do that. I think we're going to have to go back to the boat again and test this, and then we'll take it from there, see where we go from there. But I'm kind of starting to like this Velcro idea, if the truth be told. This is just acetone. It's really good for cleaning stuff. Make sure it's on. Get it nice and clean. So this side's going to have the curly. There we go. This side's going to have the hooks sticking to the boat, and this side's going to have the fluffy bit sticking to the boat. I don't think it's going to make any difference, to be honest with you. Ideally, we need this to cure a little bit, we can try it now. Let's just give it a go. Oh, you can see. Actually, you can see, look. That's definitely worked better. Well, that's with the hooks on that side. Let's try it with the... Oh yeah, you can see that's worked quite well actually. So what we'll do, we'll leave those on and we'll have to come back and see if they've cured. So plenty of projects to do. Sort of sorry that today's become more of a exploratory thing rather than a doing thing. But like with all boat projects, you've got to sort of think about these things. And I think one of the things I want to be unique with on this channel is to actually go through the thought process. You know, if that doesn't interest you, then, you know, you can skip ahead, you know, or skip to the next video. But, you know, a lot of people want to actually see the thought process that goes into this, which is one of the frustrations, one of the reasons I created this channel, was, you know, you see a lot of people that sort of say, oh, I want to remove the cleats, and then the next shot they've removed the cleats, it's all been done, and you're like, well, how did you do it? Or even worse, they remove, you know, they do the job, but it's slightly different to what they said they were going to do, and you go, well, why did they move the cleat, or why did they do it like that? And that's the difference in this channel. Hopefully I want to sort of help people a little bit deeper, and I want to also be the dumb layman novice, you know, and show people that, you know, you can do it with a little bit of thought and trial and error thrown in as well. So anyway, just thought I'd add that in. So because I'm going to put the sort of motoring over cover on, I need to take the mast down. I'm just checking the mast again. You can see the wood's gone really spongy again, and obviously that's because the foot of the mast is sat in there. So we definitely need to get that epoxied and treated, but we'll let that dry now in the boat. The other thing that needs attention is this. So you can see that's taken a bit of a divot out the mast where it's rubbed against the thwart there. So that we need to epoxy as well. And then obviously you can see the mast is in need of a good old, yeah, it's got to be sanded right down and revarnished from the off. So yes, that'll be a job for warmer climates. Whew. Back in the campervan, we've got the kettle going. We're going to have a nice cup of coffee, probably have an early lunch, to be honest with you. I'm dying of hunger. Anyway, because I want to let that Velcro set properly and cure onto the hull, I've decided I'm not going to sew any Velcro onto these panels just yet. So I think unfortunately time has just got the better of us with this little project. You know, we're just not going to be able to glue or stick anything or fiberglass or epoxy anything really at the moment. So I think what we're going to have to do is put the boat to bed. What I'll do, I'll come back maybe next week, maybe one weekend, and we'll collect the mast, which can only go on top of the car because it doesn't fit in the van, and then we will, yeah, we'll focus our attention then onto the wood, getting all the varnishing done, and we can hopefully heat the garage up and get some epoxying done. Although the difference between this year and last year in the UK is that the cost of energy is about, I don't want to think about how much more energy is costing, so I don't really want to heat up the garage as much as I need to, but we'll see what we can do and how we can do it, and if we can get the epoxy to set, we will.